we are going to go faster now. We will abbreviate. So this is a perfect example. It's a perfect example. We will start by abbreviating this one. Banishing Light, because when it's Oblivion Ring. It's just straight up Oblivion Ring,
We've
right?
seen it a million times.
It's a non-land permanent. This is like a C plus to B minus.
Always.
Maybe B minus if there's not like a lot of passive enchantment removal. You love these. Cornerstone white common will always be in like the top 3 to 5 white commons of the set. Here we go.
Yeah. Gravekin Duo. 1 white for a 1/1 rabbit mouse, and you pay 1 and tap it. Target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Interesting.
Only as a sorcery. So this triggers all the mentor stuff, right? All the
I think this is
the heroics.
deceivingly good because Valiant.
Yeah. It's It's called Valiant, but it is heroic, just like changed a little bit.
So I think this is deceivingly good because this goes in white red, but it also goes in white green because we've also like this is a 1/1 that you just want to sit around and buff up your other things that care about the number of 1/1s that you have, while also making them even bigger.
Well, it's not a 1/1 counter. It's just until end of turn.
Yeah, but it's just it's still it can be, still something that's
you have to have
not effect, but
I think
you're still just getting more damage off.
I think you have to have a lot of Valiant triggers to care about this. It being only as a sorcery.
I think this is a C minus.
I think it might be worse than that. I don't know. I'm going to start by not putting this in my deck. It's possibly unplayable. Like,
okay.
Because 1-drops are either like typically unplayable or very playable. This could be the exception, but again, you have to be very heavy into Valiant. If this was an instant speed, I don't think it would be broken, and it'd be much more into it because it could block and then pump itself to make itself a 2/2, which would also not be broken. But I guess maybe it was. I'm assuming they tested it at some point. So you think this is like a C minus? I'm completely off of this in the beginning. You'll have to prove to me that this is good. So I'm just not going to take it. Oh, I will take this one. Bright Blade Stoat. 1 and a white for a Weasel Soldier at uncommon 2/2 first strike lifelink. That's it.
Woo.
That's it. Again, simple, vanilla, badass Weasel. That should be the tagline of Bloomburrow. Simple, vanilla, badass Weasels. This is like a B minus. I mean, this is like a B minus because I could see me taking like a potential 2-for-1 over this that I would consider like a B or B plus.
Yeah.
But you're not getting more at 2 mana than this, and it's splashable.
Yeah, I mean, this is ass beating.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Oh, you get our first class. So,
Builder's Talent.
How do classes work, Gabriel?
So classes are enchantments that you can pay more into to get better effects out of them.
Right. They start at level 1, and then there's like 2 to 4 levels, and you have to pay them at sorcery speed, right?
Level as a sorcery to add its ability.
All right.
But the payoffs are all different. This never goes away unless it's removed.
Yep.
So
let's see.
1 and a white, Builder's Talent. When Builder's Talent enters, create a 0/4 white wall creature token with Defender.
Sure.
Yep. It's what you would pay for that card.
Normally you get some upside with them, like gain 4 life or draw a card or something, but but you do get more. So let's continue.
So pay white whenever 1 or more non-creature, non-land permanents you control enter. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control.
Okay, that's upside.
Okay. Yeah, that's really good. All right, so for 3, I'm getting a 1/1 counter on every creature I mean, you could also just buff up one thing.
Oh wait, no, it's non-creature. Whenever a non-creature, non-land permanent. So like other enchantments.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, interesting.
Like enchantments and artifacts, basically.
Non-creature, non-land.
Okay, yeah, I guess that'd be too broken if it was creatures.
Okay.
So you're really doing artifact enchantment build around? That's kind of weird. All right, let's continue. Don't value that one too much.
No. 5, 4 and a white. When this class becomes level 3, return target non-creature, non-land permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Non-creature again.
Weird.
How are you getting non-creatures, non-lands into your graveyard? I guess you could mill them there. But something
I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like
I think this is unplayable unless we see other stuff.
Yeah. I guess we know there's for sure other classes, but classes aren't like sagas that self-sack. Like, this feels like it fits with sagas, right? Because, like, if a saga sacks...
1,000,000%.
Maybe there's sagas, too?
Non-creature, non-land permanent is a really weird text on this.
Yeah, this is...
super creature-heavy set.
This feels so much like the class for sagas. It's very, very, very strange. I love the art, though. But I'm completely off of this. I don't... D-.
I think this is a D-. Yeah, I don't...
Who knows what's going on here?
Playably bad.
Hopefully... Oh, here's what's going on. Immediately taunt.
Yeah, but is this... Are you paying 5 mana to get this back?
No. Here, I want to take this. Also, the art on this is amazing. They wants it so much. Look at this guy on the right. Oh, he wants it.
Fiending.
Oh my goodness. The lust for carrot cake. Alright, 1 and a white for an artifact, food. When it enters and when you sacrifice it, you get a 1/1 white rabbit creature token, and you scry 1. And it's a food. So it can be used as such for foraging and for the gaining of life. So for 4 mana, split up in 2 increments, you get 2 white rabbits and scry 2, which I'm down for. The reason this is much better than that is because if you are foraging, then you basically get the second half of it for free, at which point you're getting 2 scries and 2 1/1s for 2 with additional upside of the forage activation. So this, I think, is one of the best forage cards in the entire set. I'm just guessing, which is weird because it's white. Right? Because we're pretty sure foraging is black and green. Maybe white also forages. I mean, it does have bunnies. I mean, I love this card. This card, maybe even more than Is It Cantripy stuff, which is why I guess I'm truly a Plains player at heart. This speaks to me. I love everything this card's doing. Artifacts that get me value passively. I love it. I'm going to evaluate this too highly. I think this is like borderline a B-.
No, this is a C+, but it's very good.
It's for sure. It's for sure much closer to a C+. It's for sure much closer to a C+. I will take it like it's a B- because I want to do this thing. I also wants it. I'm one of these guys. I also wants it. And weirdly works with this. Weirdly works with this.
Yeah, get out of my face with that. Crumb and get it.
Oh, shameless. That's shameless.
Why is this art so good?
It goes so hard.
Crumb and get it.
For the pun.
This bat is about to absolutely gag this calamity beast with a fucking churro. What's happening?
Is it a churro? Is it like a baguette?
No,
it's coming in here.
It looks like a baguette missile.
It looks like one continuous cinnamon roll. It's just coming down the pipe. All right, what's going on here? Oh, so we got gifts.
Oh yes, hell yes.
Wild mechanic.
1 white instant gift a food, and gift works like this: you may promise an opponent a gift as you cast this spell. If you do, they create a food token.
Whatever the gift is.
Other effect.
Right. Whatever the gift is.
Whatever the gift is, and depending on what you're getting or giving, this card is much better.
It's like kicker. So, it's a kicker where you give your opponent like a card or a food or something.
Yes. So target creature you control gets +2/+2 until end of turn. If the gift was promised, that creature is also indestructible until end of turn.
Awesome design.
Woo!
It's so cool. It's so cool. It's so cool.
So good. I think this card is very good. With all the other stuff that we've seen. With the Valiant, the way that Valiant works, and the way that, like, you know, when you cast a spell on something, it gives them extra effects. Giving it +2/+2 and indestructible is guaranteed to blow out.
For one mana.
They're doing. For 1 mana, and so what? They have a food. You're running this baguette down their throat.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
They're gonna like it. You might gain 3 life off of it, but they're gonna like it.
I love the modality of when you want it to be the aggressive beater card, you almost never need indestructible, so they're almost never getting a food. But the fact that you get indestructible at a 0 mana kicker that gains them food, but you're probably like either winning the shit out of a combat or just eating a removal spell, you also don't care that they're getting a food.
Yeah, they would have to have some like really insane forage effect.
Yeah, and not be able to have done it otherwise anyway. So
yeah. Like the food you're giving them is allowing them to forage.
That being said, this is still a combat trick. It's a very modal sort of combat trick. So I still give it like a C to C plus.
Yeah, I don't think this card is insane. It's probably a C, but I think it's one of the more. I think this is one of the better ones like this.
What's that stupid card that gives +1/+1 and like hexproof for 1 green mana? That was just legal. Yeah, that card's actually a problem, and this card isn't too far off from it. So maybe it is like a C plus. Develop
my god, this art.
This art, man. What how could they not have done this before? This art is incredible.
Oh, those little ears.
I'm gonna have a foil
of this. Who
did this
to him? Who did this to this mouse?
Oh, and he needs the cure. Let him have it. All right.
Yes.
2 and a white for a sorcery. Gift a card. Gift everyone a card just for making this card, so they get to draw.
It's not everyone, by the way. Like if you're playing in this commander,
it's just an opponent.
Single player.
Yeah. I just want everyone to have a card, as long as the sweetness can be healed. Return up to 2 target creature cards, each with mana value 2 or less, from your graveyard to the battlefield. Each.
Ooh.
So it's already... Before we're gifting, we're potentially getting 4 mana for 3 directly to the battlefield, untapped. If the gift was promised, instead return 3 target creature cards. But it's still just 2 or less. I thought it was going to increase the mana value of them. So I'm not sure I'm gifting a card much on this one. Because it's just 1 for 1-ing.
I don't think so.
And it's your third best. It's your third best 2-drop.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's just infinite two mice for 2 that you like to play that have insane text on them or whatever.
Yeah, but it's still your third best one, right? It's always your third best one.
I'm not saying gifting it is probably worth. Well, I'll say this: if you're in red-white and you're being aggressive, this card, even if you're gifting them a card, it might be just that little bit extra damage to like get through the next turn.
Yeah, but you could also give them like an answer. I don't know. I'm not sure I'm really ever gifting this.
Yeah.
But on its face, it's good already.
Yes.
Yeah, you can look at the gift as like, buyer beware if you actually gift this. But like, I think on its surface, it's like a C plus. I mean, it does do nothing early. Maybe it's like a C. Like
I think this is probably. Ooh,
oh no, you're dead.
I'm breaking shit.
Yeah, I'd say it's like, I think it's like a C. Because like there is some setup cost here. Like you have to have 2 things in your graveyard that are small that you care about before this does anything effective. So this is probably like a C to C minus. But I'm going to collect a foil of it anyway.
Oh no. Oh no.
No.
Sorry everybody, my setup is
you're so jank.
Is jank.
I'm in a studio. I'm in a studio. Look at this. Look at this. It even flows into the art. See? Same color pattern. So good. Professional.
I wonder who did it.
This guy. Oh, that guy. This guy. Together.
Yeah. You're wrong.
I designed it. Not this pattern, but the idea for the whole thing.
All right.
Are you ready yet?
No.
Oh
This
my
thing is.
goodness. I'm not even gonna edit this out.
My new desk is just so big. It's so
Oh,
hard.
yeah. Oh, it's big and hard.
Big and hard.
All right, your go.
Very effective. Too effective. All right. Drift Gloom Coyote, 3 and 2 white, so 5 total for an elemental coyote 3/4. This better be good. When Drift Gloom Coyote enters, exile target creature an opponent controls until it leaves the battlefield.
Chupacabra?
If that creature had power 2 or less, put a 1/1 counter on the coyote.
Oh, it's upside on top of being an exile Chupacabra.
Yeah.
Or a faceless butcher, rather. Chupacabra.
Ravenous Chupacabra.
Yeah.
I mean, this is very good. It's just I mean, it's not so, but it's until it leaves the battlefield. Doesn't Ravenous Chupacabra just exile it straight up?
Ravenous Chupacabra does. Faceless butcher is more appropriately this, but it has the fixed text where you can't. Faceless Butcher had a glitch where you could blink it before it finishes resolving, and it would just keep it exiled forever. This does not work that way. Because of the way they fixed the wording, but it's still extremely good. It's
still very good.
It's extremely good. It also works with blinking.
It dies to creature removal. Yes, it also does work with blink.
It also just like eats tokens for free. If you eat something small, the fact that it's just like I could see you eating a 2/2 token, and this thing's just a 4/5 for 5 that ate a 2/2. Like that's wildly good.
Also, this is really insane if you exile an offspring card.
Yeah,
Destroys the token.
Great point. Yeah, it's
destroys the token, and it's getting the counter.
That's some flavor for you. The coyote loves eating offspring. You heard it here.
Oh, free snack.
Yeah. This art is also just amazing, by the way.
Amazing. Yeah. So, I mean, is this a
B? I think this is a B.
You think this is a B?
I think it's very good.
Woo!
It's an unconditional exile. Like, yes, until it leaves play, but just on the surface, it doesn't care what your thing is. It's exiling it for sure. For some amount of time. I guess the only downside risk here is you're like exile your 6/6, and they're like a black deck with mana up, and then you swing and they like instant remove it, and they get back their blocker. So you want to watch out for that, I guess. But
yeah,
I still think it's a B.
that's why I was gonna say it's a B-, but yeah,
I think it's a B. I think it's very good, very very good. Feather of Flight, combat trick incoming. Oh no, it's an enchantment aura. 1 and a white, flash, enchant creature. When it enters, draw a card, and it gets +1/+0 in flying. We have seen this before. It was good. I'm pretty sure it was blue.
Yeah, this is for sure good.
It's an uncommon, so you can't pauper it because it's an uncommon. Because boy would this is like some what's that the Nine Tails or what's that build the commander aura build around? Anyway, this
Pearl Earring. It was called Pearl Earring in this last set.
Yeah. Anyway, this card goes well. This
yes.
I'm slamming this. This is great with Valiant. This with the 3/4 that can gain +1/+0 in first strike.
Yes.
And scry.
How about a fucking 6/5 flying first strike?
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Yeah, this thing's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be a 5/4, but.
But it gives itself +1/+0.
Yeah, so that would make it a 4/4, and this would make it a 5/4. Because it's a 3/4. It's a 3/4, right? And then the ability triggers making a 4/4.
Oh,
this makes
it is a
5/4.
It is a 3/4.
Yeah.
I was thinking 4 or 5 for some reason.
Yeah. But I mean, it's still very good. I even like using this as a combat trick too, defensively, is a massive blowout.
Yes.
Like flyers are going to have to be scared of this card. Like if they have something innocuous like a 2/4, or something. They're like, oh, now I have a 3/4 flyer, and I drew a card, and your flyer is dead.
Also, in the white decks that care about things that aren't flying being in there, maybe you've been beating in with like giving this thing that's on the ground like a bunch of pumps, and then you make it a flyer.
And you make it a flyer, yeah. That XX trampler equals the number of creatures you control. That'd be a pretty one to get flying.
Yeah. Be scary.
This also interestingly is a cantripping enchantment that works with that class. I'm just like, every really good enchantment is going to trigger like what was going on with that card. I think this is like a B minus. I think this is very good.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
it's very good.
The fact that it just replaces itself seems pushed.
Don't run into open mana, please. Oh, our first offspring. You're good, Gabe.
Woohoo! All right, Flowerfoot Swordmaster. 1 white for an offspring. Well, it's a mouse soldier that's a 1/2. It has offspring 2, so this means you can pay 2 into it as many times as you want, based on how much mana you have, to make a 1/1 copy of it.
It's just once. You can't keep doing it. It's just once.
Oh, you can't keep doing it.
No, you can't keep doing it. That's a different. That was like something that we had in not Fallout, but the Warhammer. Was it called Squad, or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah, offspring is just like 2. No, it's just 2.
Okay, so you. Okay. I'm just looking at this wording. So you may pay an
additional 2. Yep.
As you cast the spell. If you do, when this creature enters the battlefield, it's a 1/1 copy.
Yep.
But it is a copy with all other text on it.
All other text. Yep.
So
it's just the 1/1.
It has Valiant. Whenever the creature becomes the target of a spell or ability you control for the first time each turn, mice you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. All mice.
Yeah. Which includes the offspring, and the offspring also has that ability, which would then include the main. Yes. Well, it also includes itself. So.
Yeah.
So is this good without offspring?
Probably.
It's a 1/2 that can be a 2/2 if it gets targeted with something.
If you're in a really fast deck, I think you're not mad about playing this turn 1.
But a really fast mice, not rabbits deck, because it doesn't do anything for your rabbits.
Yeah, I think a lot of the mice are red-white.
I mean, I know we've just seen a bunch of white rabbits as well. So, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, so with offspring, so for 3 you get a 1/2 and a 1/1. It's a very aggressive card, right? Because I'm not even sure I'm that excited for that defensively. A 1/2 and a 1/1. Its ability is not entirely offensive. Like, you can use that defensively too, to trade off better. What do you think? Is this like a C plus? Is it just a C?
I think it's probably a C plus.
C plus.
C plus.
Yeah, I'll try it out there.
Maybe a C, but I think it's a C plus.
Yeah, we'll just have to see what the breakdown of rabbits to mice is in aggressive decks.
Yeah. I think mice are more white-green than mice.
Fair.
I think mice are red-white.
Harvest Right? Is that right? Harvest Right? Harvest Right. Yeah, probably like that. Harvest Right host.
Harvest Right. Harvest Right, yes.
2 and a white for a 3/3 rabbit citizen. Whenever it or another rabbit you control, so not mice, but rabbits, enter, target creature you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. If this is... Then draw a card if it's the second time it's triggered.
This loves offspring.
Wow. I'm like taken aback at how good this card is.
Yeah.
It is so it's only it or rabbit, so it's not like creature ETB, but its ability can target any creature.
Yes.
So obviously the 5-drop that makes 2 rabbits, that spell that we're gonna see that makes 3 rabbits. This I like a lot more than that mouse, because now we're talking about drawing cards as well as being aggressive, and we're a 3/3 for 3, which I probably like more than a 1/2 and a 1/1 for 3. So yeah, I would have this a strong C plus. If you really got the rabbits going, this is like a B minus.
I think this is closer to a B
B minus. If you're real deep in rabbits, maybe it's a B.
I mean, I when they did the announcement video in the Twitch stream, they specifically had said that rabbits were green-white and they were about rabbit things making their offspring.
Yeah, that's right.
So
breed them.
If you got a bunch of rabbits, I think if you have a bunch of rabbits, this is a B plus.
Yeah. It's a lot of drawing. It's only once per turn, but
if you're who cares? If you're drawing a card off this every turn,
that's great.
Woo!
The pump is not. It's as many times, so the pump will keep happening.
Where is Maskwood Nexus in this set?
All rabbits.
All rabbits.
I've spoke of it enough, but you get to take it.
All right, hop to it. 2 and a white. Sorcery. Create 3/1/1 white rabbit creature tokens. Boom.
So how good is this then?
The payoff.
That's the question. This isn't the payoff. This is the enabler.
Yeah. Well, I think the all the payoffs we've seen, including the last one, seem pretty good.
Yes, but how good is this?
I think this effect generally is, but I mean this set seems to do well with it, or want to do well with it. They're rabbits. They're 1/1s.
So generally, 1 and a white make 2 1/1s at instant speed is a C. Sometimes a C plus if there's a lot of support. This is a sorcery and it's 3 for 3. But there's a lot of support.
I think it's a C.
I'd be willing to say this is a C plus because there's so much support. I've referenced this card. I didn't reference it with the last card, or I did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would guess this is a C plus to B minus. I think this is quite good.
Yeah, I could see it for sure being a C plus. Oh goodness.
Yes.
It's your go, but Intrepid Rabbit is
adorable. It is my go. Intrepid Rabbit, 2 and a white for a 3/2 rabbit soldier, offspring 1, which means you can pay only 1 to get a 1/1. Whenever this creature enters, target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. So it's a 3/2 that pumps when it ETBs. You can pay 1 more mana to make another 1/1 and get another pump. Yes. This is much better at 4 than 3. It's already okay at 3. It is much better at 4. At 3 mana, I would say this is probably a C minus. At 4 mana, I'd say this is a C plus. So I think it's a C plus. Yes. But I really want to pay 4 for this. This with the 3 drop, dude. Imagine. Oh my god. Imagine you play the 3 drop, right?
Yeah.
Then you play this on 4. Down. It draws you a card and makes that thing a 7/5. A 7/5. Can it pump itself with the 1/1 counter? Yeah, it's target creature, so it can target itself. Yeah. So it's a 7/5.
Yep.
That is outrageous. Outrageous 2 turns.
Brutal.
That's going to be hard to beat. They drew a card, made 2 creatures, and they're attacking with a 7/5 on 4. Ugh. Yeah. So yeah, this is a C plus. Seems like an important white common, to be honest. And I think you'll see that with most things that have offspring 1. It's pretty good.
This card, Jolly Gerbils, 1 and a white, Hamster Citizens.
Oh my goodness.
A
cornucopia.
Whenever you give a gift, draw a card.
Wow.
Interesting.
Don't care how good it is.
With all the chaos going around, we thought it might be the perfect time to take a break and have a nice picnic. Would you like to join us?
Amen. Let's all go have a picnic.
Okay, so this is...
I
don't know how good this is because I don't know how much gift giving there are.
I don't care. I'm playing it.
It's very good.
It's really good with that white gift. So,
flavored text.
How many gifts you have that are... How many instants and sorceries you have that can give a gift that are cheap and that gift is a food is directly proportional to how interested I am in this. That white combat trick that we saw that gives indestructible, oh man, I'm giving them all the food with my jolly gerbils.
Oh, yeah.
How sick would it be,
sure.
right? If like they target the removal spell on this and you're like, no, indestructible, also I draw a card.
Yeah. Also, I draw a card.
Yeah,
this is good.
Sure, I think this is a C+.
Payoffs.
I think this is a C+ to a B-.
I think this is a C.
No.
Or
it's a 2/3 for 2. It can't be a C.
Okay, fair.
And a 2/3 for 2 by itself might be a C+. Because it doesn't even cost like two colored mana. Like, this is a C+ floor.
Yeah.
If you're drawing multiple cards off this, it's extremely good.
Yes.
Is this me? Life Creed.
Yep.
Life Creed Duo. Take me higher. 1 and a white for a bat bird. What? Oh, they're a duo.
A bat and a bird.
I get it.
The duo. Yeah.
Yep. When another creature you control enters, you gain a life. It's a 1/2 for 2. Is this a functional reprint? I think there's something like this in some set. This is like a C, right? You have to really care about life gain. It's like a C-.
I mean, this is for the white-black deck.
Yeah. This is like a C- though. Are you really doing this on turn 2? This isn't blocking anything. This may be attacking. I mean,
I don't know. I think this might be deceivingly good.
Okay.
Depending on how good. I mean, we have seen every single white-black card really care about life gain.
I think you have to really care about life gain. If
you're gaining life as much as the other cards make it seem, then
it's a C. I think its ceiling is a C, but I could be wrong.
I think ceiling is a C+, but
well, wrong.
Ceiling.
Wrong.
Ceiling.
Go ahead.
All right, Mabel's Metal. 1 and a white for an instant. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Up to 1 target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Interesting.
You stole a child from its nest? That's kind of dark. I don't think this is great. I think this is...
Yeah.
I'm not playing this. It's like a D+.
It's a D+.
I will say, it double triggers Valiant, right? That's the thing.
Yes.
Okay, it might actually be better. But, like, you have to be really aggressive and really into Valiant. Mm-hmm. And then perhaps...
And perhaps it's a C.
Yeah, and then it's a C. But yeah, like, I could see hitting the 1/1 on the thing that gets first strike, right? That's, like, the thing. Like, you give something +2/+2, win that combat, because that's pretty substantial. Then the other thing is getting
drop.
+2/+1 in first strike.
I feel like you're hoping you're playing this on turn 4, so you have 2 small things that have...
Yeah, but it could also work there, yeah.
Valiant.
Well, the thing is that you do the thing, right? Like on turn 4, either you're playing that Valiant guy, or you're attacking first and saying if you get like blowout blocks, and then you just like blow them out with this. So yeah, it could even get to a C+, honestly, in the right deck. It's scary. I'll say this. This being in the format will make to your point, like the aggressive turn 4 swing, where they're like my 1-drop, my 2-drop, and my 3-drop all coming in. You're like, at best, you're trying to trade, right? And then they like play this, double blow you out, and play another 2-drop. Like that feels bad.
Yeah, because I will say that this card is actually nuts. If you are, let's say it's turn 4, you've got your, turn 1, 2, and 3 play, and then you're giving +2/+2 to the 1, and then a +1/+1 to the 2.
This is gonna be awesome.
So
I'm gonna mark this time. I'm gonna mark this time so that we can go back and watch where you say verbatim what I had just said directly before you.
Well,
just verbatim, just the same words. Like you transcribed it, and then you just said the same words.
I'm saying I do agree that this card does look. Now looking at it, could be much better because if you are in a very aggressive deck, like
Yep.
this is there's almost no way to like trade with that.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it will bloat. It could 2-for-1 you, and gain them tempo, which is scary. So
Yeah.
maybe a C plus even in the right deck. Is this me or you? You take it.
It's me. Mouse Trapper 2 and a white. Mouse Soldier 3/2. Flash. It has Valiant. Whenever Mouse Trapper becomes the target of a spell or ability you control for the first time each turn, tap target creature an opponent controls. Huh.
I like it.
So this with the last card, pretty nuts.
I like it. Yeah, it's not exactly a comp. Yeah, it removes it as a combat trick, but.
But what if you like flash this in at the end of their turn?
Yeah, that's the idea.
Then you use this on it. Yeah. It is weird because it is like you said, it's not a combat trick.
Yeah, because you specifically want to use this ability before combat happens, which means that whatever you're doing will necessarily not be a combat trick. But I think this is
what you could do is have something down that has a triggered ability, or not a triggered ability, but a targeted ability on it, and then you flash this in and target it with its ability.
What this tells me is you have to be extremely worried about ever trying to race mice. Because, like, imagine you have that other thing that has the double Valiant triggers, right? Like, like pumps all your mice. And, like, your opponent has a pretty aggressive attack. Like, they do 5 to you. You're like, end of turn, flash this in. My turn. Play that combat trick. 2 Valiant triggers. Tap your 1 blocker. Hit you for 9. Like,
yeah.
Hit you for 10. Yeah, I mean, and this has very low downside. So I'll say this is like a C plus B minus.
Yes.
But it's really cool design. I like all these. So much Valiant. Look at this. White is definitely the Valiant color. My goodness. Mice are so Valiant. 1 and a white for a 3/1 Mouse Soldier. And whenever it becomes a target, it becomes a 3/3. It gets +0/+2. And you can sacrifice it to destroy an artifact or enchantment. Which, since there's classes, that is fairly significant upside. Sacking to get rid of enchantments. But I mean, it's an aggressive mouse, so I like it. Did you die?
Yeah. Dead.
You dead? It getting +0/+2 is like a really interesting sort of like blowout situation, right?
Yes. Yeah.
It's like they're trying to trade, and you're like, no, we haven't really seen that before. I think maybe once I've seen that before. I think this is still just like a C.
I think this is a C, but I have found in previous sets that cards that have the sack, destroy an artifact or enchantment, I like a lot more. I wish this costs 0 to do
that. It like basically always costs 1. It most of the time costs 1. On 3/1 specifically. And yeah, like we said, there's classes. So
the last time we saw it, I think it was free, and it was on a 2/2.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think you're right. Or at least there was like a 2/2 that like ETB'd and did it. With like
Thunder Junction had one. It was a 2/2, and it was like a weasel or something.
Or like it had to like exile cards out of your graveyard when you played it to do it or something. Or I don't know, whatever graveyard effect there was. Or you had to sacrifice something when it came into play. Whatever. Anyway, I think this card is actually pretty good. Again, this Valiant trigger, like if you just hit it with the +1/+1 on the backside of that combat trick that we can't stop talking about, it's a 4/4.
Yeah.
Which is big. So yeah, it's a solid C, probably maybe a C plus. Right, you're good.
Another gift.
Yep.
Parting. Oh, this card is Parting Gust. Double white, instant. Gift a tapped fish. Gift them a tapped 1/1 with no other upsides.
Yeah, it's just the 1/1.
Exile target non-land creature. If the gift wasn't promised, return that creature to the battlefield under its owner's control with a 1/1 counter on it. So this card is so good. So either you can bounce your own thing,
flicker it,
trigger any ETB effects, and give it a 1/1, or you can just exile something they have, anything they have, and give them a replacement 1/1 that is tapped.
Yeah, this as you're saying, this card is absolutely absurd. As just as removal, it's wild.
Yes, it's absurd. I don't. I think it is much worse for it to be a like blink effect, obviously, especially
Yeah,
because it is premium ass removal. But just having the ability to do so is real nice.
yeah. Two white mana, exile any non-token creature, and all they get is a 1/1. It's just crazy.
That is also like
Instant.
you attack in, instantly do this so that they can't block with whatever it is, and whenever they can block, it's just a 1/1.
Yeah, yeah. The fact that the 1/1 can't even block the turn that you do this is pretty crazy. Because why
Pretty
not?
crazy.
And then yeah, like you said, like they try to take out something that has an ETB with a combat trick, and you're like, no, I get the ETB and it's bigger. Yeah, so this card is like a B plus. It's double white.
This card, it is double. The only drawback to this card is it's double.
It has to be double white. It'd be ridiculous if it was any other mana
Yeah,
cost.
Still a B
It's
plus.
still like a B plus. Yeah, it definitely makes me want to be white.
Oh my goodness.
This is me pleated provisioner. See that this is the big birdie. 4 and a white for a bird scout.
Pileated?
Pileated? Oh yeah, I don't know what that means.
I think it's a play on words.
When pileated provisioner enters, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control without flying. This is like replaceable out of 10, I think. Like 3/4 flying for 5. We've seen flavors of this. This is like a C minus. Like if you need it at your 5-drop slot, sure, but whatever.
This was literally just a card.
Yeah, it's always just a card. You're good.
Yeah, rabbit response. 2 and double white.
Oh lord, they are coming.
Oh, it's an overrun.
Yeah.
Creatures you control get +2/+1 until end of turn. If you control a rabbit, scry 2. Yeah. I think this effect, like the last time, once again we saw it, is going to be deceivingly good.
It was good the last time we
Specifically
saw
in the
it,
green
actually.
white.
Yeah, if you're making
this
3 1/1s for 3, it's a beating.
I mean, this is just a finisher. Like
Yeah.
you've got this massive wide board, been pumping out baby rabbits. You've been drawing cards off of making baby
There's
rabbits.
offspring everywhere.
And then you get to scry 2 on top of it because you're for sure doing this in rabbits. I don't think this is good outside of green white.
I'm still starting it as a C.
Yeah, I would start it as a C, but I think it's gonna end up being a C plus.
Good. All right. Repel Calamity, 1 and a white instant, destroy target creature with power or toughness 4 or greater. So an either or, getting the calamities out of here at instant speed. So this is like as good as this can be, right? Because typically black is the color that gets this at 3, and then it's less than. White gets this at 4 or greater, but it's instant, it only costs 2, and it's either one of them. So I would say this is probably like a B minus. Normally I'm lower on it. Like if this costs 3 at sorcery speed,
C plus.
At 3 and sorcery
it's
speed,
instant.
and only one of them, it's like a C minus. But
yeah,
I think this is like a C plus. I think it's like a C plus B minus. I think it's quite good.
I think this is more like a C plus, but I think it could be as good as a B minus.
It's bad in the mirror, but like if you are the small mouse deck, like imagine your opponent's like turn 4 thing, and you're like, cool, continue developing my board. Also, it's dead. Like that. Like this really blows out. Anything that's not the mirror.
We have seen some things, but like I just feel like there's so many little. I think this is worse than normal, only because there's so many little creatures.
In the mirror, if you're playing against white or green, but even then you have payoffs that are like getting pretty big, like the XX guy
like
and stuff.
The 1/1 counters and
I think it's good. All right, you're good.
Seasoned Warren Guard, 1 white for a Rabbit Warrior 1/2. Whenever Seasoned Warren Guard attacks while you control a token, Seasoned Warren Guard gets +2/+0 until end of turn.
Uncommon 1-drops are interesting. So this is an attacking 3/2 for 1. If you have a token, so a offspring, or a rabbit popped out somehow. You have to be super aggressive, but like this is as aggressive as you can get. It's a 3/2 for 1 mana.
Yeah.
And like once you have a token, presumably in rabbits, you're always going to have a token. Right? It's like the first one. It's how quick can you get the first one? We still haven't seen a 1/1 with offspring 1 yet, but assuming there is one, a 1/1 with offspring 1, then this is quite good, right?
Yeah, I agree.
We've seen that the 3-drop that makes 1 is ridiculous with this. You know, the one for 4 total. So we'll see how many more offspring 1s there are, but I'm starting this at a C+ if you're very aggressive.
Yeah, I think its ceiling is a C+.
Yeah, I mean, it says a 3/2 for 1 mana. If you can get a token down turn 2, which the carrot cake does it as well.
Doesn't have haste.
It's 1 mana. It's a 3/2 for 1 mana.
Yeah.
It doesn't need haste because you sure as hell don't have a token down on turn 1 when you play this.
Yes, I don't know.
Oh, it's any token too. It can be food. It is only attacking. If it was just even a blocking 3/2, this card would be too good. Because then you would just like make a food on turn 2 or whatever.
Right,
and
but it's not.
Yeah, it's just attacking.
Like,
I still think it's like a C+. You have to be really aggressive. I don't need you to like it. Your go. Oh, my go. My go, right? Shrike Force. There's a pun for you. 2 and a white for a bird knight. It's a 1/3 flying double strike vigilance. How's that for keywords?
It's a lot of good ones.
How do you feel about combat tricks on this? Good lord.
I feel good about them being good on it.
Yeah, this is the most like, talk about threat of activation of combat tricks. Like, you're attacking with this always because it has a 3 in vigilance and is in the air, and God forbid your opponent blocks because it's probably going to go poorly for them. It's hard to know how good this is, though. It's so scary.
I'll tell you what, if I'm doing a 1/1 counters thing and giving 1/1 counters to creatures, it's going on this card.
Ironically, those are more commonly on non-flyers from what we've seen, right? Like the flyers like giving it to non-flyers.
Yeah, that's the awkward part.
But this with the +2/+2 indestructible gift, especially if you have the generous gerbils or whatever. Love it. I don't know. I think this is probably a C+. It might be better. Combat trick build around.
Yeah.
Oh, here you go.
Oh my goodness. Sonar Strike. This art is truly excellent.
So
All
cool.
right. One and a white instant. Sonar Strike deals 4 damage to target attacking or blocking or tapped creature.
Or tapped.
Or tapped. That's more than usual.
Yeah.
You gain 3 life if you control a bat. I mean,
This seems great. Honestly,
I think this is great.
This is the most gets there of like this card I've ever seen. It's instant. It's only 2. It's 4 damage. And life gain payoff.
Is this a B-?
No, I don't think it's that good, but I think it's a strong C+. No. If you have gain life, maybe.
If you were in a life gain deck, do you think this is a B-?
Maybe. I'd have to see more payoffs than we currently have.
Doing bats.
I'd have to see better payoffs than we've seen 1 total payoff, and it was that 1/3/5 flyer. So I need like 2 more payoffs of that magnitude for me to ever think this gets up to a B+. But I think it's pretty comfortably a C- or a C+, which is better than normal.
Oh my god! Go back up. Valley's Midnight Cleric, channel the life force of other animals into blinding strikes and searing shrieks.
Oh, goodness. It's a little cleric. Look at him. He's got like his vestments on. He's
yes, yes, yes.
He was having
His robe.
he's a prayer having directly at your face.
Yeah. This art.
Star Charter. I like how mythic these like mystical and whimsical the bats are. 3 and a white for a bat cleric. 3/1 flyer for 4. Interesting. At the beginning of your end step, if you gained or lost life this turn, here's a payoff. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card with power 3 or less from among them into your hand. That's a pretty good.
That's a good payoff.
Gaining life payoff. What is that 2/2 lifelink first strike for 2? Also that we've seen. This is just a 3/1 flyer for 4. It is just power 3 or less.
That's a good payoff.
It is. It's unlikely to miss, I guess, if you're in these colors, right? It can even get the 3/5 flyer that we talked about, the other payoff.
It's not like it's the fact that you're gaining or losing any life.
Yeah.
It's just it's not like a threshold of 3 where it has to be food or something.
But it's your end step. Like losing life during your turn is kind of hard to do. So it's really just like a life gain payoff.
We haven't seen it yet because we haven't gotten to black, but surely there is like pay life.
I guess, yeah. Could be.
God,
but
also has to be.
Also food though. Food can just gain you life to trigger this.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of whenever you want. So some food overlap there. I mean, I still have this at like this is like a C plus, I would say, but build around B.
Build around B for sure.
But we have seen it being pretty easy to gain life. Alright, your go.
Thistledown players. 2 and a white. Mouse Bard. Whenever Thistledown players attacks, untap target non-land permanent.
Pseudo Vigilance 3/3 for 3 in white. That can maybe do better things than have Vigilance.
Yeah.
This is just like a C, maybe a C plus.
Yeah.
If you figure out something perverted to do.
Yeah. I think there's a chance that card is pretty brutal, but
there might be something silly to do. Oh, I love it. Love the art. So classic. Warren Elder, amazing. Look at it. It's got the inside of dandelion stalks, right? Because they love dandelion, so they've eaten the inside of it, and they're like propagating the seeds of it.
Oh yeah, they're getting more dandelions about.
Yeah, it's amazing. They're just like swimming in dandelion pollen. Just couldn't be happier. They're getting high. They're getting really high. It's a 2/2 for 2. I'm in. 3 and a white. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. I'm in. I love it. It's a C.
Yeah, it's a C.
It's a rabbit. I'm taking it. It's got some late game.
Wax Wayne Witness. 3 and a white for a bat cleric 2/4 flying vigilance. Whenever you gain or lose life during your turn, Wax Wayne Witness gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Huh.
This works well with the other 2/3.
I think it's a C minus.
I mean, so if you have the other 2/3, it has vigilance too. So if you have the 2/3, right, that when you attack, it gets the +1 or you heal 1.
You gain life.
Yeah. So this is a 3/4 flying vigilance for 4.
3/4. Yeah, but it's 2/4 on the blocking side, almost guaranteed every time.
It's true. Unless they have unblocked first strike. Because the first strike will make you lose life before this does combat damage.
Yes, I understand.
Huge!
But still.
I don't know.
Odds of that mattering are low.
I think this is a C.
I think it's a C minus. But it's only because it costs 4. It costs a lot.
There's vigilance. I like vigilance on a butt.